All right. First off, hat goes off the Oakland Raiders. What they, they were able to hang in there and played hard. Continued to fight it out, though it looked like it was bleak for them, as it did for us at numerous times in this game. So I take my hat off to the Raiders, their staff, and their players. They played hard, and it was a well-fought game. That being said, I think the game for the Kansas City Chiefs came down to, we just did too many things that will get you beat. And I've talked a lot about it. This is a difficult situation coming onto the road versus an AFC West opponent that was playing good football. And we knew we had to come in here and play discipline and smart and still be tough and aggressive. And we just didn't do that enough of the time, which early on probably kept the game from getting heavy in our favor, which would have been real good for us. Anytime you're on the road and you have a chance to maybe put the dagger in and get up enough scores to give you some breathing room, you need to do it, because generally when you don't, it comes back to haunt you. That being said, started the second half, allowed a huge return for a touchdown, then turned the ball over immediately, gave them a couple scores before the clock really even started to run. But we fought back. We fought back, and we put ourselves in a position to win. And we had multiple opportunities there before overtime and even in overtime to make a play that would have sealed the game for us, and we didn't do it. So these are all building blocks for the Kansas City Chiefs. We ended the second quarter 2-2. That's not the way we want to do it, but we had some really some big-time games in this stretch here of 4 games that our team can and will learn a lot from, and that's the most important thing. Because we're going to start out here next week 0-0 third quarter, and the games just get bigger. The good thing is we put a little, got ourselves above the line a little bit, or had a chance to be above the line, and didn't quite finish this quarter, but we're back to 0-0, like I said, and we got to get back to work, because we got another AFC West opponent that we got to go on the road and play. So, any questions?
Why can you guys not get the run game going today as you guys have been able to recently, do you think?
I'll have to look at the tape, Kent. Number of factors probably without guessing. When you have penalties like we did, sometimes it puts you in situations where it's a little more difficult to run. That's number one. I think the field, though sometimes a big advantage, didn't seem that it was helping us too much. We had too many guys on the ground, or allowing penetration at times. But I'll have to look at the tape really to give a really good answer, and I'll do that tomorrow because I don't want to guess. But at times it felt like we were able to make a little progress, and at times we weren't. But that being said, this is a team that they were loading up the box, so to speak, and they were in zero situations, meaning they had no safety in the middle of the field a lot of that game, and there is just a body you can't block, and sometimes that's a good thing for us, and sometimes it's not, and obviously we, like I said, going into this to our guys, we were going to have to make some plays, in this game to win, and we just couldn't quite make those plays when we had the opportunities, one way or another, whether run or pass, or special teams plays.
What does it do to your offense when a team takes that away, when it takes away what you do best, and then what do you do?
Well, I think that we don't practice to run the ball every play. We practice a bunch of situations throughout the week that we could potentially be in. We have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and you better have a plan D just in case, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But that's all part of our evolution as an offense. the biggest thing to me is you can't have minus plays and expect to win in this league. You can't turn the ball over in the red zone and expect to win in this league. You're just not going to do it. It's going to come back to get you. And we did a couple of those things. You know, we had multiple penalties, you know, that put us into positions that are difficult to overcome. And like I said, you leave points out there, that usually comes back to haunt you.
Todd, you talked a lot before today about taking advantage of opportunities. Were you a little uneasy at halftime, up only 10-0, given what you guys kind of controlled the first half?
Well, I think, Adam, like I said, you learn through experience that in these games, these big division games, you know, against teams that are good teams and have a number of weapons that if you let teams, you know, we've heard it, you know, over and over through the years, you let teams hang around, you know, it will come back to bite you. And, you know, we were still, you know, at halftime, we're sitting there with a 10-point lead and you know, if coming into this, you know, before we got off the buses, you told me you could be 10-0 at half, probably take it, you know. I'd ask for us to cover the next kick and not turn over the next one. But, you know, again, it just comes down to the things that will get you beat. We've been not doing a lot of those things, or, you know, minus plays, penalties, turnovers, offensively and defensively the same thing. You know, we've been relatively penalty free. We've stopped the run. You know, we didn't do that today. You know, and we knew going into this game that this Raider team was a big play team. You know, they live and die with big plays. You know, last week against Seattle, they had 545 yards, you know, or whatever. They were 550, wherever they were. On 8 plays, they had 345. So we're very aware that they're a big play team, capable of big plays, and we knew that, you know, especially with the lead, you can't allow them big plays. And I'm counting the kickoff return as a big play. I'm counting, you know, the throw at the end, you know, long, any kind of interference penalty. You know, we allowed them big plays. We allowed a 30-something yard run. You know, we can't do it.
You guys have been so good at protecting the ball this year. I think only 4 turnovers going into today. Do those things just catch up to you at some point?
Well, I hope not. I hope not. And that means, you know, all the things we're doing to prevent them are not really needed. And, you know, we're working really hard at that, from drills and gauntlet machines and human gauntlets, you know, so I hope it doesn't just catch up to you. You know, you got to do things to protect the football. We've been in a rain game. This is our second rain game. We had wet balls out there in practice this week. You know, I thought from that standpoint it wasn't what got us. It was, you know, we were just a little careless with the football, and, you know, we might have had the ball in our wrong hand a couple times, you know, or one of the times the ball was on the ground, I'm not sure, but, you know, those are preventable, and we got to prevent them. And, you know, you went through a game like today and had protected the football, especially in those couple situations, you know, we probably would have won the game.
How difficult is it for this team to win when sort of the discipline factor isn't necessarily in your favor? A lot of penalties, like you said, not covering on the kickoff, little things that characteristically you guys don't necessarily do.
You know, Adam, I think we just got to learn from this. We got to get back to work, and this is about, for us, just making progress. You know, we, through our progress, put ourselves in a good spot, but not one that we're really, you know, is our main focus right now. You know, our focus is trying to get better and become a good team. You know, and you all keep asking me about that, and, you know, I think there was evidence today that when you're in those situations that we were in, we've got to take advantage, even with all the variables as they were, and end the game at some point, and we didn't do that. So, you know, but heck, what I'm so encouraged about, as painful as this is, and that one hurts, you know, when you think you got a couple chances and the game's over, is that we got a lot of room to get better, you know, and that's what we're going to do. And if we do that, you know, good things are going to keep happening, and we're going to be a good team, and it'll be sooner rather than later. So we've got a good group of guys. They're down and out right now. You know, that they all feel awful, but, you know, they got in there real tight at the end, you know, in the locker room, and you could feel that there's guys that really care about each other and care about this team, and that'll give us a legitimate shot to be a good team.
After Indy
You know, I don't know, Sam. I don't know that I have the answer for that. You know, every game is a great opportunity for this team to learn. You know, like I said, this stretch of games here, you know, what more could you ask for from a learning atmosphere, you know, for a young transitioning team trying to figure out exactly what we're going to be. And like I said, I really believe that's going to be a good team, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. And all these experiences are going to be critical experiences for these guys because they're into it. They care. They're going to go. They're going to look at the tape. They're going to figure out things that they can do so this doesn't happen again. You know, and that was the last thing said in there is just remember this feeling because we don't want to feel this anymore.
You mentioned opportunities missed. You many times practice 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go, you got the lead, and you had an opportunity there, and didn't take advantage of it.
Yep, it's you know, and then and we had an opportunity on the other side. You know, on defense also, we had opportunity on offense to end the game. You know, we just didn't. You know, we weren't able to make that critical play that would have ended the game, and there were numerous. You know, there were many of those plays. Now we made a lot of plays. You know, the guys fought it out. I mean, I don't. You know, the way this game went, and I think when you go back and look at this, you know, there was an opportunity for the team to let down, to really kind of, you know, start feeling sorry for themselves, and that's what didn't happen. You know, they fought back. We put ourselves in a position to win the game, and we just couldn't make that play to win it. But the fact that you saw that fight back, you know, on the road, things like a return and a fumble, you can feel that energy, momentum turning, and it can really snowball. Our guys held their composure together. You know, I thought kept their cool and just kept fighting and kept playing together and trying to make plays, and we made a bunch of them. So, you know, that's a real positive. You know, they played their hearts out now. I mean, they were going to have another tired bunch here.
Okay. Thanks,
So, thank you.